We can't live on this planet without impacting it. We can make the impacts sustainable if we make sustainable choices. And things like certifications of sustainability make that choice easy for us.
Welcome to Avalon Public School, where the grade 8s are learning about the oceans, how we affect them, they affect us, and the importance of these logos.
As humans, one of our favorite locations is the ocean. How we are currently treating our oceans is unacceptable. We are contributing to overfishing, unsustainable fishing, pollution, oil spills, bottom trawling, and much more. Even though these are negative impacts to our ocean, we can always change our ways.
Our oceans are dying.
It's more than what meets the surface. We gotta dive deeper into the topic and find out more about the global oceans and our ties to it and the ways we are connected.
Hey, I have a question for you. Do you know where you're buying your fish and do you know where it's caught?
When you go to your local grocery store, look for this logo to help promote the Marine Stewardship Council. This logo means that the fish were caught sustainably.
This logo means that the fish that you buy and eat were farmed responsibly and did not hurt the environment around it.
The Marine Stewardship Council, which is a global organization headquarters in London, is certainly considered the gold standard of certification. It requires demonstration that the fishery is sustainable in terms of its impact on the populations it's harvesting. It's sustainable in terms of the impact on the ecosystem producing that fish, and it's sustainable in terms of the livelihoods of the communities and how the fishery is prosecuted by the people who share in the benefit from it.
I'm happy to introduce the MSC and ASC logo to all shoppers. I believe myself as well is pretty good to understand like how we promote the fishing industry, how the fish that we carry in Whole Foods are sustainable, and not only that, we're not harming environment.
Do you know what's sad? 2 words, bottom trawling. Fishes of all kinds and sizes get scooped up randomly by an oversized net. This does not only affect the organisms, but the habitat as well.
Do you know what size selective fishing is? It's when we only take fish a certain size and the ocean runs out of its large, healthy fish. This is where balanced harvesting helps. Balanced harvesting makes sure that we take fish from all size ranges so that they can survive and make more.
The MSCs work with partners such as food industries to encourage suitable fishing practices.
One of the things you can do is look for logos of sustainability. We can't, as consumers, track down ourselves where every product we buy comes from. We have to put our faith in organizations to do that for us. And I have a real belief in the Marine Stewardship Council because of how public their processes are, how clear and explicit their standards are.
How is Ottawa connected to the ocean? The Ottawa River goes into the St. Lawrence River, and the St. Lawrence River goes into the Atlantic Ocean.
Even though we live in Ottawa, we are connected to the ocean because of our streams, rivers, and lakes.
We also get our fish from the ocean too.
People also go fishing in Ottawa.
Since our lakes and rivers are connected to the ocean, we get our drinking water and we also get our showering water from the ocean too.
This is an activity that is really valuable for these kids. It's real world and real time, and it's about something that matters to them, something that's going to matter not just now, but in the future as well.
Here's some of the things that's happening in our ocean.
Overfishing. People are catching more fish than the ocean can produce. There's also carbon emission and ocean acidification.
Another big one is bottom trawling. Bottom trawling is happening too often, and it's destroying our ocean life, such as coral
and fish.
World Oceans Day is on June 8th. That day, we put in an effort to stop plastic pollution. We also stop to honor the ocean.
On that day, we clean beaches, do school projects, art projects, and seafood events. We shouldn't be honoring the ocean only one day, we always should.
We live in Bogota, the capital city of Colombia. In the city we live, we don't have an ocean.
But we frequently travel to places that have oceans like Santa Marta, Cartagena, and Barranquilla.
Where all we do is spend all day in the ocean, play in the beach, and enjoy the sun and the sand.
Our oceans have a high diversity of plants and animals. We have a lot of oceans and beaches that are really pretty.
And we want them to stay that way.
That's why it's important to take care of the ocean.
A colleague and I did some estimates for a symposium a few years ago of how much more protein we're going to need to feed this planet in 2050 than now, taking into account both the growth of human population and the changes in crop production due to forecasted changes in rainfall and temperature. We're going to have to increase by probably 30 to 40% as a minimum how much protein we take from the ocean just to break even with where we sit now in terms of meeting food needs of humanity. And there is not an opportunity in capture fisheries of wild stocks to increase global harvest 30 or 40% unless we fundamentally change how we fish so that we start fishing little tiny things, and then you start to deal with taking the food that seabirds, marine mammals, and other kinds of fish need. So it's a difficult choice ahead. Intensive aquaculture can meet a substantial part of that need. Aquaculture is not a poor alternative to wild-caught fish. It's a different alternative. It's produced in a more intensive culture facility. So the fish live under different conditions in captivity than they do in the wild, just like oxen or jungle fowl, which have become chickens, live in a different condition in captivity than in the wild. But we can feed more people in localized culture facilities, and we have a smaller, more localized ecological footprint than with capture fisheries.
The difference between these two salmon, this one is a little bit darker, they're wild caught. What happened is in the ocean, if they eat more crustacean or any shellfish, they build more the pigmentation on it. The difference between the two, this one is the light color, this one is the natural farm. We have no hormones, no added hormones, no antibiotic. And this one is wild caught. We don't have nothing to do with it. They're raised like naturally from the ocean. It's a choices between the two things, right? A little bit leaner, a little bit more moist.
Our population is growing. However, our fish population is shrinking. Do you see a problem here?
Fish is a major source of protein, and many people depend on it. However, the way we are treating this precious resource is unacceptable.
The option of do we reduce our impact on the ocean by stopping the consumption of fish just means we consume more of something else. It transfers our footprint to more livestock production, more intensive crop production, more intensive poultry production. We need this food, and the ocean can give it to us.
Whether or not you like the ocean, either way we all depend on it. So the next time you go shopping, you should buy a box of fish that has the MSC logo on it. Doing just this one little thing for the ocean could make a big difference, a positive difference.
It's sustainable, Walca, and MSC. It's ready to go for making fish and chips.
By listening to this video, you can help the ocean become a cleaner, healthier, and beautiful place for both fish and humans.
And remember, the small actions you do today will mold our world tomorrow.
The decision to become part of the demand for sustainable practices is a personal decision made by the consumer and the family. But once you've made it, this is a way that you can exercise that decision in your daily life, not just talk about it at a community meeting twice a year. Every time you shop, you can make those choices that demonstrate you have made the decision you're going to be part of the solution, not part of the problem.
Really, it's all about awareness, realizing that we're all connected to each other and to the ocean.
Thank you for watching. We hope that when buying seafood, you're more aware of what you're buying. Our ocean is changing, and not in a good way, so we need to protect it for future generations.
If everyone starts by making these little changes, our ocean will improve. So please look for these logos on the packaging when buying your seafood.
See you later.